everybody. I'm so glad to be here today. I'm Catherine Fry, the CEO and president of Mediafy, and this is my podcast, Chat with Cat. And I am thrilled today to be with Jase Moses, who is the president of Moses Landscaping. Hi. Hi, Jase. How are you today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Yeah. Great. I know you have a busy day today and you're out doing estimates, so I want to thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to meet with me and do this interview. How many estimates do you have after we're
Uh,
finished?
six more. Six more
6 more?
estimates.
My
Yes,
goodness.
ma'am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's
This is
fantastic.
yes. Yes, ma'am.
6 more. Yeah, I know, 'cause you were like, "Oh my gosh, I have an estimated 215 or 210," and I was like, "Jace, please come to this interview." So I'm so thankful that you did. Thank you. I know your time is valuable. Um,
Yes.
so tell me first, what got you into landscaping and outdoor services?
So I started out just mowing yards in my neighborhood and that kind of stuff, and just kind of got to the point where after I started hiring people and really, you know, taking it step by step, kind of got to the point where, you know what, let's focus more on project-based work. So now
Yeah.
we've kind of lawn care, and now we're starting to do a lot more like retaining walls, paver patios, landscape design and install, sod, just some more.
Fences fences
Work.
too, right? You can do those? You
Yes,
can install
yes,
yes. Okay. And is that's something you've recently gotten into, installing fences?
yes,
Or
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
okay.
That works for a team that we subcontract out some of our fence work out to, but depending on the style, we have employees that we can handle that in-house as well. So
Wow, wow, cool. Well, I know that installing fences is an art. I mean, it really is because I've worked with fence installers for many years now. So I know, and I think it's a
yes,
wonderful thing to do. Um, okay, so what was your first job like?
kind of chaotic. I remember my
That
first ever. It was a rock install. So we did river rock. We did about 20 ton of river rock. And the customer knew I was young, knew it was kind of one of my first big
yeah.
jobs. And I don't want to say they took advantage of that, but
Oh.
it's not a very good story. Let's just put it that way. But through it, we got all the material delivered. It took a lot longer than we anticipated. At that point, it was just me and two or three buddies out there
Mhm.
working, and we got it knocked out. They were super happy, and now we've done several hundred of those since then.
Oh, yeah. So how long ago was that?
Oh, that was about 4 years ago.
Oh my
Um,
goodness. Wow. So you've been doing this a while. Yeah, you really have. I
yeah,
mean, you've been out there.
yes, ma'am. I'm still young, but got started whenever I was even young. People were like, "Oh
Yeah.
no,
You
21."
tell
And,
people you've been doing this so long, they're gonna think you're an old man. You know?
you know,
Goodness.
kind of confused. They like, "You have experience doing this?" I'm like, "It's been my, sun up to sundown, 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
for the last 5 years of my life."
Oh
So
my goodness
yeah,
gracious. Can you keep up at this rate, you'll be able to retire at, like, 40. You'll be done. You're
let's
like, "I'm
hope
ready
so.
to retire." So oh
Yes.
my god. So, when did you realize that this could become a real business?
So right after my senior year of high school, I'd really started praying about it, asking God to lead me in the right direction and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that I really was like, you know what, let's just take the leap and turn it into a business.
Mhm.
Last
Leap of faith, wasn't it? It was a real leap of faith, but you did it.
yeah, yes, 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 ma'am. 2 years ago, we did pretty well. Me and I think three full-time guys. Last year, it was me and six full-time guys. And this year has been the year that really taken off as far as
Mhm.
project-based work.
Mhm.
Now I've got guys working underneath me, and it's just unreal. The projects that we have coming up and that we're currently working on right now. It's just unbelievable. The progress that we've made, and only the future can tell what's in store for us. So
Oh my goodness, yeah. Okay, so I know that you started out doing the lawn care and then you got into landscaping. So what are some of the aspects of landscaping that you really enjoy? Because I know you have to be pretty creative to do that.
yes. So my favorite thing about the whole process is really just the estimate, going out with a customer, knowing that I might not get this job, but treating the customer as if, they were my grandparent or my mom and dad, and just educating them
Mhm,
to the point to understand our process, and how we're going to
mhm,
do the project, and teach them the right way to do the project and the wrong way. That way they, whenever they're
yeah,
getting other bids, that they're finding a qualified person to spend money with, so
mhm,
like the problem that the customer's having, and coming up with a good game plan and solution to solve that problem, and solve the problem, also properly look better.
mhm. Look at yes, excellent. Now I know that you have recently ventured into, pressure washing, which I guess people are now
Yes.
calling more soft washing. It's what do you call it? Do you call it pressure washing or soft washing, or what's the term that you prefer?
So if it's a house, I call it, if it's a house or roof, I call it soft washing. If it's a
Okay.
hard surface like a or a driveway, then I call it pressure washing. So it's something
Okay.
that we've, yeah, yes, yes, yes.
Now, what surfaces should not be pressure washed?
Never really want to pressure wash brick just because you want to knock out the grout in the brick,
Oh, yeah.
equipment to do it. But a lot of people, they will pressure wash like a flagstone patio. Anything with grout is very risk tolerant because bust out all
Mhm,
the grout, gotta replace it, and that kind of stuff. So then, of course, like roofs, you gotta be super careful about, and that kind of stuff. So
mhm. Now what I used to think, like, I had a pressure washer come out years ago and pressure wash our building, and I
mhm.
was so surprised when I showed up because it was so beautiful. Everything I didn't realize how dirty it had been and how completely different it looked after it had been pressure washed. What are some of the, ingredients that you put in the wash? Because I just thought it was water, but it's not. There's other things in there, and
Nope.
I learned. Yeah.
Yes. So our truck, everything's built into the bed of the truck, so we can literally back into your driveway, hook up your water hose to our tank, and we have about 8 tanks on the truck. So we have one water
Oh,
tank,
wow.
100-gallon bleach tank. So people are like, "Oh no, I don't want bleach on my house." Bleach, it's not really bleach; it's a sodium hypochlorite, which is what
Okay.
kills off all organic growth on the house.
Mhm,
And we also use surfactant. It's a fancy name for a soap. And all the
mhm.
surfactant, the chemical on the siding, or to really get the full benefit out of it versus just spraying it on there and letting it drizzle
Mhm.
down. Uh,
Yeah.
Surfactant, stay in place and clean what needs to be clean.
Okay, okay, excellent. So, that's what I saw when I had our previous building pressure washed. It was really super clean, and I thought, "Water couldn't have just done this. There's more." I mean, it was really, really something to see, and then I had it done again. I realized this is something that how often would you recommend someone have their building, their home pressure washed?
Every about 3 to 4 years. 5 years you can get by with, but it's kind of pushing it. We have a few customers that they want it done every single year. After the pollen
Mhm,
falls, they want to
mhm.
knock the keep everything looking, spotless. So you
Yeah.
can't do it twice a year. It's not needed, but every year to two, if you want it looking good year round, then every year or two. So
I mean, I noticed that the building we were in previously looks like it needs to be pressure washed again, and I had it done maybe a year ago, and I thought, well, if I were there, I would have a pressure wash, but we moved, so
yes.
we'll have this building pressure washed. Um, so what is the most satisfying surface to clean?
Oh man, that's a good one. I would say either. like hardy board or like vinyl siding. That's probably
Yeah,
one of
hardy board. I'll bet that is. Yeah.
yes, yes. Just because, whenever you're looking at a driveway, driveways get dirty because trucks drive on them, cars, mud goes over them. But outside of a
Mhm.
house, you would think, oh, that should stay pretty clean. So like if you're looking at a house and it has algae all over it, you just think, man, somebody does not take care of their place, Um,
Right.
so siding, vinyl siding or hardy board, that's definitely the most satisfying to number one because whenever we spray it on there, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for it to eat off everything. So you can literally
Mhm.
watch it like a I'd watch us spray it on there and it
Yeah.
melts off like
Oh,
5 to 10
wow.
just rinse it off and it's that quick of a satisfaction. That's why I enjoy doing it. So
Oh gosh, yes. So what is the worst job you've ever had to clean? Just the nastiest. Can you describe it?
oh man, probably like a dumpster pad, like where
Oh, yeah.
all the greases and like runoff from like everybody's food,
Oh,
um
yeah.
those those get pretty nasty pretty quick. So not a big fan of it.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet not, but I'll bet it's really satisfying once you clean it and then it's perfect. And you're like, "Oh my
Yes.
goodness,
Yeah.
I really cleaned up a mess." Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like at restaurants or would that be at restaurants
Yeah.
or could that be at yeah, probably there. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so my next question is what's the one piece of equipment that you could not run your business without?
For the soft washing company, I would say, man, that's I kind of have to have it all,
Yeah.
It's one of those I don't have the pressure washer itself that's built on, then it slows down the soft washing side. Well, then if I don't have the soft washing equipment, then it makes the pressure washing take longer. So they work hand in hand. So I would say my
Yeah.
whole setup, it really said that's how we're able to get in and out so quickly because we have the right tools for the job. So
You've got the right tools. Okay. What about like landscaping? Now, is there's equipment there that you need also, right? Or is it more
yeah,
just the
for sure.
okay. Can you tell me about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So every job depends, or every job needs a different piece of equipment. So like, for a lot of our landscape design and installs, and even a lot of our sod work, where we're coming through, ripping out somebody's yard and replacing it, we use a piece of equipment called a Toro Dingo. It is a
The Toro
stand-on,
Tinga. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So it's a
Okay.
stand-on skid operate kind of like a lawnmower, but with different handles. And it has a bucket on it where you can like move piles of rock or mulch or move topsoil around. And they have about 100 different attachments that you can put on. There's trenchers, there's augers, pellet forks. I mean, the list goes on and on. So we're able to dig a lot of holes very quickly with the machine. We'll just get the auger attachment and
Uh-huh.
we can get holes in no time. Like by the
Oh,
time
wow.
you even machine already has 5 holes done. So
Oh my
big.
goodness.
So,
But then that leads to my next question. What tool in your business has contributed to your productivity the most up to this point?
man, honestly, if we just keep it pretty simple, just shovels and rakes and stuff, like
Yeah.
the tor it's always going to be on top because it's the most efficient, But
Mhm.
sometimes the best way to get 2 or 3 guys on a shovel, and just grade stuff out that way, or dig a few
Mhm.
holes, or you know, I lean a lot on my crew. I've got a great group of guys that work for me.
Mhm.
They do what's on time, and
Mhm.
I would now without my guy. So
Mhm.
huge thing. Um, so they're not really a tool, but definitely they're one of the reasons I'm at where I'm at. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Um, okay. I deal with a lot of different service-based people, and I hear a lot of different things regarding equipment and some crazy stories. But I had one guy tell me that he literally forgot that he had rented a piece of equipment and it was parked, and he ended up being charged like $30,000 for renting it in it because it sat there for months, and
Goodness.
that his office staff forgot to return it, and he had to pay it. So, I hope nothing like that has ever happened to you, but what is the most expensive mistake that you've made with equipment? Are there any stories, crazy stories?
The past month or two, it's been nothing but crazy stories. The, on, a, on an awesome project up on Signal Mountain, and we were kind of working on a slope, so we were excavating out some like big tree stumps, moving some rocks around, regrading
Mhm,
everything. And we had the cabbed machine, so it has like the heat and air conditioning and radio and that kind of stuff in it. Well, the door was
mhm.
open, but it latches back to the back side of the machine where it doesn't like swing open, and
Yeah.
the machine drifted into a tree, and
Oh,
whenever it
no.
drifted into the glass busted out of the door, and that was a machine that we were renting, and the rental company paid the insurance and everything for the machine, and they're trying to get us to pay like 3 grand to replace the
Oh.
door. And I had the insurance, it was an
Yeah, that's what
accident.
the insurance is for. Yeah.
3 grand is not too bad, but I mean, that's a lot of profit that, we lose on a
Mhm,
project.
mhm.
You know, 3 grand goes a really long way, whether it's marketing or whatever. So we're trying to get that resolved
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
But with something goes wrong just about every project. So we try to do preventative maintenance and that kind of stuff, but
yeah.
it doesn't always happen.
Yep, I hear this stuff every day. I really do. I find it, sometimes, uh, for heartbreaking, but I think in your field, you just have to take it day by day and just work through it, and there's always a solution. You may not like the solution, but there always is a solution, and you can always find better ways
That's
of
right.
doing so Um, okay, so let's talk about yards, working on people's yards. What is the strangest thing that you've ever found in someone's yard when you were out doing yard work?
Oh, man, we've seen some very interesting stuff. Definitely whenever we do like anytime we rip out bushes and stuff, we're always finding like golf balls and baseballs
Oh,
and that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Because like kids will throw them in the bushes and like, oh no, I'm not gonna reach my hand in there and get it. And I did that several times as a kid as well.
Yeah.
The creepy thing. I found a full baby doll, like buried in a flower
Oh,
bed
a
whenever we
baby
were digging it
doll?
up.
You found a baby doll. Oh
Yes,
my
and it
god.
was like a Barbie doll. It was like a actual baby doll with like a creepy one. So I still get night.
Could you close its eyes so you didn't have to look at its eyes, or was it one where the
I
eyes were
I
permanently open? You didn't
didn't
look?
even touch.
You didn't even touch
No,
it? No. Yeah, that's a frightening thing to find, for sure.
yeah, we just
Yeah.
covered it. So yeah.
Oh my god. What is the worst yard you've ever had to clean?
We've done a big, I guess, cleanup over in Red Bank area, where the customer had became somewhat disabled, was not able to take care of their
Mhm,
property. We came through, gave them a clean everything up, and
mhm,
there was a lot of trash and stuff, but just a lot of weeds and stuff that could be in harm of the house if it was not taken care
mhm,
of. Um,
mhm,
we revised everything, made it into an actual yard again, and
mm.
they were like blown away with how it turned out. Um, but yes.
I bet that was very very that
Oh
brought you a
yeah.
lot of satisfaction to see that. What would really be terrible is if
Yeah,
you came back in like 6 months and it was all trashed again. But then you could just clean
I
it
know.
up again, right? They'd pay you again and you
Yep.
do it again. So,
Yep.
um,
Jog.
have you ever had a nightmare client? Like, really a
Yes.
nightmare? Tell me
Yes.
about
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Tell me about
That
the worst client you've had.
that goes back to that
Several
first
months.
story.
Yeah.
They so they lived not even 15 minutes away from our rock supplier. And I was like, hey, run by there, see what rock you want. And their
Yeah.
option was like 2-inch rock or 2 to 5 inch. Okay. And they're like,
Yeah.
well, the 1 to 2 looked at it, but the 1 to 2 was too small. And they figured, okay, 2 to 5, that's what it's advertised. We had
Mm-hmm.
a full worth of the rock delivered, and the customer comes outside and he says, that's too big. And I was like, sir, like it's non-returnable, like it's already
And he
ordered.
chose it. And he chose it, right? I
Yeah,
mean, he went there and
yeah,
chose it himself. Oh my gosh.
yeah. And one thing I'm big on is my reputation, and he was threatening to sue us and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, I'm not even really a company yet. We're just getting our feet off the ground. And
Oh man, yeah.
so we had to use that small dingo. The dingo bucket is like half the size or a quarter of the size of a skid steer bucket. So it
Mhm.
took about 5 just scooping and loading up a dump trailer, taking it back, dumping. I think we had to make the rock, and
Mhm.
it was an experience. So, um,
But I'm
uh,
sure it was a learning
d-
experience. I mean, from that, it
yeah,
helped make you into who you are today. Because I mean, that was like
yes,
5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. So
yes,
yeah. What a way to get started though.
yes,
Wow.
for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Um, okay, so let's go a little bit into how you promote your business. Okay, so how did you when you first got started? How were you promoting Moses Landscaping?
Primarily just by, of course, word of mouth, Facebook, and maybe a few yard signs here and there,
Hmm.
just to kind of not get a little bit of brand recognition out there, I
Hmm.
guess.
You got a logo, right? I mean, I assume you
Yeah,
probably did that early on, and of course you had good
yeah.
word of mouth out there, and every time you do a job, probably the neighbors would come over and want to talk to you, and then it just grows from there. Um, what okay, so you start out with Facebook. Do you use Instagram or TikTok or anything like that?
Whenever I started out, it was primarily just Facebook.
Okay.
I don't have, we have a company Instagram, but I do not run it, so it's kind of you know, doesn't get as much attention as it should,
Yeah.
I guess. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yes,
And then of course you have a website, moseslandscaping.com, right? Is it that's your
yep,
domain, moseslandscaping.com. Okay. And
yes.
what what platforms out there have you found bring you the most customers up to this point? I mean, obviously Facebook and website. I mean, but are there
Yeah,
any other platforms out there that are bringing
really,
you?
the website does fantastic for driving in new customers
Mhm.
and stuff, and Google as well, because everybody,
Google.
you know,
Oh yeah,
Google
Google. We can't forget
trusted.
Google.
So
Google
I
is king. So when people
yes, yeah,
call you, do they usually say, "I found you on Google"? Is that what they're saying? Like, "I found you on Google," just sort of a general.
y yes, yes. Or they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey, we saw your," like, we do a lot of commercials and stuff, we have
Yeah.
commercials with News Channel 9, that kind of stuff. So a lot of
Okay.
people, they'll see us around town, they'll go to the
Mhm.
website, okay, well, this guy's legit, and then
Mhm.
call and just most people say, oh, we saw you around and this and that, but the website is definitely the one of the biggest drivers because it's professional. A lot of our
Mhm.
customer or and um, they don't have their marketing and everything as dialed in as we do. And in order to grow a
Mhm.
business, marketing, word of mouth's great. You can survive word of mouth, but you're not going to be landing the bigger jobs and that kind of stuff without doing some marketing. So,
What at this point, because I know that you're really growing your business. In the beginning, I'm sure you took every job that you were offered, but what jobs are you avoiding now?
we don't really turn down too much work. The only stuff that we've been turning down is mostly mowing customers. Our mowing
Mhm.
crew, we cut back in about half as far as volume. So that's turned down in a sense. But we're always wide open for anything, whether it's a small
Right.
job or job.
Or a big
Or
job or a fence job, or I
yes.
mean, I know you can do French drains, you can do fences,
Yeah,
you can do landscaping, you can do general yard work, you can do pressure washing. Is there anything I'm missing that you also do?
we
Did I forget?
concrete. We do like concrete driveways, sidewalks, that
Okay.
kind of stuff as
Okay,
well.
you do that too. So you can install a
Yeah,
driveway? Okay, and you c
yes, yes.
okay, alright,
Yeah, we can
excellent.
rip up
You can
the
rip out
driveway.
the
We
old one?
can form it up, re-pour it, all that good stuff.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Well, we're down to 10 seconds now. So I want to thank you for coming on here with me. And I want to congratulate you on being so successful at such a young age. And I look
thank,
forward to seeing what you're going to do in the future. Thank you, Jace.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.